All right, class is in session. Real quick, I heard this lady testifying, and this is an old case. I already did this case on my one of my videos. It's one of the ones in the beginning. But this is the Gary Farris trial. He was shot by his wife and put on a burn pile, and she's serving life in prison. Melody Farris. But this is his legal secretary, and they're just talking to her, kind of getting some info, whatever. But what I want to show, number one, is her reputation management, which and you corroborate my other videos. It's a good to see another example of a female using reputation management, and in real time, and also women's sexual natures, right? Because I know a lot of young men and men in general. We were conditioned and brought up in a world where men are perverts and creeps, and women are sugar spice and everything nice, and they only have sex with men because men need to be satisfied, and they do it for us, and they lay there and take it, and it's kind of an attitude that women have kind of sold. But if you know any better, look wherever a woman is, there's sex going on. I mean, they are very sexual people. They always banging. So what this is going to show is, and I'll try to get through as quick as possible. But it's she's just going to talk about her relationship and how she started banging the boss, and this is what they do. We're watching a woman in real time tell us how they act. So here we go.
The truth, so help you God. Okay, you can have a seat and scoot your chair on up to that microphone. You have a pretty soft voice. I need this man back here to be able to hear you. Okay. If you could please introduce yourself to the jury.
I am Angela Phillips. I work at Burn Foreman. I was Mr. Ferris's assistant for almost 28 years.
Can you tell the jury a little bit about where you started at Burn Foreman and your move to Georgia?
I started as a temp right after my husband got a job in Birmingham after we got out of the Navy. They hired me the first week. I started working for Mr. Farris and another attorney at that time. We were there for 5 years. I always wanted to live in Atlanta. My brother and sister-in-law were here, but my ex-husband took the job in Birmingham basically without even asking where I wanted to be.
You see that little, and I'll tell this if any ladies ever watch, number one, if the ladies watch, that right there, crap talking husbands. My husband didn't even ask me where. He's the leader of your marriage. He's getting after it. The leader doesn't have to ask. But regardless, no one needs to know that info. We moved to Birmingham. I follow my husband. Dude, you see her little face, and that's bitterness. You got to get rid of that. It looks bad. Guys too, don't talk bad about people. I don't know if anyone else saw that, but you see that, she'll talk bad, a little bit more negativity. Negativity never sounds good to people who don't know who you're talking about.
So when the job came open in Atlanta, we discussed moving. He wasn't interested. We were in marriage counseling at the time, and later.
Yeah, who would want to move with marriage counseling and a shrew, No, he doesn't want to move. He's ready to dump your ass. All right.
We went through a divorce, and then I asked to be transferred to Atlanta when we were going through, not custody, but visitation. I was going to stay in the house. He was supposed to see our daughter, every other weekend.
I was going to keep the house. I mean, it's a poor lady.
And then he started, I can't get her tonight.
I mean, it's like putting the drama out there. You said you wanted to move to Atlanta. You moved to Atlanta. Yeah. Hey, yeah.
Oh.
Never sounds good. Maybe he had a good reason not to get, maybe he's busy. This is her story without any corroboration. I'm just saying, negativity never sounds good. Don't do it.
maybe, so he wasn't going to keep any kind of schedule. So I then asked for the transfer to Atlanta, where he would have to adhere to a schedule.
He don't have.
Okay, so
If he's
how
not
long
already
was that
adhering to a
when you
schedule,
asked for the
why
transfer?
does he have to adhere to a schedule? I mean,
95.
made no sense.
Okay. And did you end up transferring to the Atlanta office?
I did.
And you were still with Burn Foreman?
Yes.
Okay, and who were your attorneys? Was it attorney or attorneys that you were assigned to?
I was so originally it was Gary and Ginger Busby. Then I transferred from Ginger to Darren Collier. And so I was working for Darren and Gary even once he transferred to Atlanta. And then I had a new associate also, whose name I don't recall.
And so you tend to work for multiple attorneys at one time?
Yes, I currently have 5.
Currently you have 5? So when you transferred here from Atlanta, how long had you known Gary?
5 years.
5 years. Did you work with him the whole 5 years prior to coming to Atlanta?
I did.
When you came to Georgia, apart from your brother-in-law, let me ask you this, where did you move to in Georgia when you came to Atlanta?
So Darren Collier, who I worked for in Atlanta, his mother lived in Marietta. And she actually showed me around, helped me find an apartment. And eventually we found one in Alpharetta.
Tell me about your early professional relationship with Gary. How well did you know each other?
I mean, we talked about the kids and what we did on the weekend. He'd tell me about his honey-do list, ball, whatever the kids were doing, family stuff.
And at that time, did you know much about Melody Farris, Gary's wife?
Not really, not a lot. I think I met her once.
But she knows she's married.
Or saw her in the office when she brought the baby and the toddler.
So that would have been Chris and Scott, or the girls?
The little girls.
The girls. And I want to get into a little bit about how your relationship with Gary evolved over time. You tell the jury, when you moved to Georgia, did your relationship with Gary ever cross?
Now you're gonna find this confusing. That's I mean, she's reputation managing, but I can't understand the relationship because she's not saying. But anyway, she just asked, "Did your relationship evolve?" She starts shaking her head, yes.
Most personal.
Unfortunately, it did.
Unfortunately, it did. So yes, they were banging here and there. She's banging a married guy. Women do this all the time. They do this all the time. Sugar Spice, because they like to bang.
About when that was.
It was probably in 95. It wasn't ongoing.
I wasn't ongoing. Like that makes it any better. You're banging your boss while he's married. I mean, but I'm just saying, reputation managing.
As an affair, we just became.
It is an affair. Yes, it is an affair. You're banging the boss. Maybe not every day, but here and there.
Close, especially once I moved here. I did.
So now she doesn't know anybody in Atlanta, so she has to bang the boss. So look at all this jucking and jiving. Look how uncomfortable they are talking. But it's okay. I get it, But it's a little bit comical. But we understand they want to keep it the reputation managers because the reputation means everything, and it does.
Anybody else other than my brother and
nobody else in Atlanta. Didn't she just say some lady helped her pick out an apartment?
At the time. And I was in Alpharetta, so that was over an hour drive.
You lived in Alpharetta?
I lived in Alpharetta. And I did make one friend.
One, okay.
That was actually the assistant of one of our clients in the same building.
So now you don't have to bang the boss.
In Midtown, and then she lived in Alpharetta nearby. So, and she had 2 little girls, just a little older than my daughter.
We're talking about the banging, not that.
And when you say that your relationship with Gary went from professional...
They got to circle back. That made... You're talking about... yeah. She went all off on a tangent, everything else but the question. Let's go back to did your relationship get physical, ma'am?
What does that mean?
What the hell? Yeah, what the hell did you just say is what she's saying.
I mean, he became more of a confidant.
Lady, did it become, how did you bang? Where did you bang? How many times did you bang? That's what she's asking.
And a friend and an encourager on the weekends.
Encouraging that D.
My daughter to meet her dad were very difficult for me. And so he was a shoulder that I leaned on.
And apparently a dick, too.
There were a couple of instances where, you know, long hours, sometimes alcohol.
Long hours.
A lot.
I like having sex, and I am a woman, and my vajayjay likes sex, and I bang my boss. That's what she's trying to say. Translation. Long hours, alcohol, blah-de-da-de, banging, banging, banging. I mean, women love sex. That's all I'm trying to say, guys. And look at the reputation. This is not, I mean, we're having a little fun here, but, you know, we respect that. That's a beautiful thing, but I want men to know this. I don't want men to think that women are sleeping with them just for you know, they're trying to help you out. No, they're not. They love it too, you know, and this is how they live in their private lives. They bang their bosses. Wherever women are at, they're banging.
Yes.
How long would you say that the physical relationship lasted?
Well, it wasn't an ongoing thing.
Oh, you already said that. I mean, this is just interesting. I'm showing you look how hard it is for her to answer, and she's in a public space answering sex questions.
Planned.
It's not nice. It's not easy for a woman, especially.
A few occurrences, maybe over the course of a year and a half, maybe.
What's a few occurrences? I mean, they were banging regularly. These are half truths, okay? That's what women do, you know. But they were banging here and there. Okay, we got it. And this is what women do. And that's how they have rotations.
Extend beyond the 90s.
Oh no.
How did it stop? And why did it stop?
Well, it stopped because I became friends with Melody.
Nah,
and the
BS.
girls.
BS.
And I was such a mess back then, you know, and not having friends.
Here we go. Excuse, not having any friends. So you got to go bang? Come on.
Then I got involved in a church and.
Oh no. Now I was so bad. Now I'm good. No.
The person that I was up until that point, to age 30, was.
Banging a lot, huh?
Different than the person I was.
After she joined the church, oh yeah. They're on Tinder. I found God. My fun is over.
31, 32, I was
I'm not here to play games.
yeah. And then I was just able to find my way back to the person that I was, to the.
What's that mean?
You know, with the morals and and my relationship with God, and just, you know.
Sex has no morality. She's like, you banged my man. But hey, she wasn't banging. She banged 2 other dudes at least.
Want somebody to cheat on me, you know, with my ex-husband. So then when I realized, you know, it's like I was able to separate him from her, but I didn't know her.
Ah, see, there's some female. Okay, but I don't think that's true. But maybe, you know.
Relationship with Gary, just go back to being professional.
Yes, I mean, we were still friends, but we were able to work through, and we had an excellent working relationship.
And Gary was overweight, not in shape, not too handsome, and didn't bang very well, probably.
And I still miss that, you know.
How many years total did you work for Gary?
It would have been 28 in October if he had lived that year in 2018. I just celebrated my 34th anniversary with the firm last week.
Okay, so 28 years.
Yes.
Just short of 28 years with
Yes.
Gary. Okay. So over those 28 years, you saw Gary almost every single day in the office.
Yes.
Did Gary share with you information regarding his relationships with his family.
Yes.
And did you have access to Gary's financial situation?
Yes.
He's rich.
At
To some degree.
Okay, can you explain what?
Well, I mean, I filed his taxes, made copy.
All right, that's mainly, we don't need to hear all the other stuff. Mainly I wanted to get out that part of it where she talks about her sexuality with her boss. The first part where she's negative about men, but I didn't want to make it a long video. But it's very important. I have other videos. It's not about, women's sexuality, and it's not here to expose them or talk bad about them. But women are so good, and this is out of respect for them. I love women, how good they keep secrets. And how good they keep their sexuality secret, and even up until my 40s, until I had my 304 phase, I didn't know how sexual women were, how, just everything about it, until I started dating a lot and, figuring it out myself. And yeah, this is how they operate, but they keep it very secret, but guys need to know this. Guys need to know that women are extremely sexual. They love having sex. They're constantly having sex. We just don't know about it because they keep their shit private, because they need to keep the reputations. They need to manage the reputations the best they can, because they're judged for having sex, and they'll be called a slut, they'll be called a hoe, 304, So this is why they do that. But when we see these criminal trials, it's one of the best ways to look, peer into the, behind the curtain and see how they live. And I've showed a couple other videos on, my channel, and it's like, you see the pattern, look at all these teachers and, kids in school. I mean, it's ridiculous. The pictures being sent. I mean, you got hundreds a year of teachers sleeping with students. It's crazy. They're very sexual people. Not saying that's right. I'm just saying, it's look what they're doing though, But anyway, just want to show that, and we'll see you on the next one.